In this episode, Derek goes full send at Sebring. NASCAR was at Cota, and we get a look at the new Ford Mustang GT3. Welcome to episode 195 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell. I partook in the Sebring 12 hours at iRacing last weekend.
Oh.
It was quite interesting, but before we talk about that, can you guess the next endurance race that I will be partaking in for iRacing, so for sim racing?
Okay. You've already done Bathurst.
Right.
You've done the Rolex.
Yep.
You've done Sebring.
Yep.
Watkins Glen.
No, that is after this one that I'm talking about. It's not Le Mans either.
It's not Spa, is it? No.
No.
Is it European?
European track. Very famous track in Europe.
I think I know.
What?
The Green Hell.
Yes.
So you're trying to learn the Green Hell then?
I'm trying to learn the Nürburgring.
Oh boy.
Not only that,
luck to you.
but it's the N24, the Nürburgring 24 layout, which has the Grand Prix and the Nordschleife in one layout. And boy, it's kind of hard.
Have you completed a flying lap yet?
A couple, but not
Just.
many. Not many.
Because how long is a lap for you there?
I believe it was clocked at 16 miles.
What's your time?
Times are around 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
I was going to say, are you well under 10 minutes?
Yes. In a GT3 car, you should... The aliens, the fast guys, are running like 8 minutes.
Oh.
I'm running like 8, 20s, and 30s. So there's almost 20 to 30 seconds that I'm behind, which is daunting to think about.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So how did Sebring go?
Sebring was pretty cool. I'm actually going to throw up while I talk about it here. The stream, you could find it on Twitch, and I'll put it down in the description. But we're just going to go on board with me through a couple laps. This was about halfway through the race, but before we got to this point, that guy's off. We started the race. I started the car, and this was a full 12 hours. So there were 3 drivers. I was one of them, and I qualified the car like P25, somewhere around there. And we were middle of the pack for skill wise. So there were like really, really fast guys that were in higher splits. I think there was something like 1,000 or 2,000 people that participated. Or no, 1,000 teams, like 2,000 to 3,000 people that participated.
Wow.
So a lot of people, and they were split up into chunks of 50, basically. So 50 people in each split. And we were probably one of the lower splits, so one of the lower skill ratings.
Yeah.
And it meant that we had all GT cars. So as you see, I'm running up behind a Porsche here. But since we didn't have prototypes, it was basically a Bathurst 12 hours.
At Sebring, yeah.
At Sebring, which was kind of fun, but I kind of also wish that we would have had the prototypes, because that would have made for a little more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just more diversity, more chaos thrown in the mix.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. I started the car in around the 25th, 28th, something like that. Got it up to, I think, 15th or 12th, somewhere near the top 10. Handed the car over after 2 hours of clean driving. I don't think I had a single incident in the first 2 hours.
Not even well.
I had one. I had one off track in the very beginning because I had to avoid the inevitable turn 7 first lap chaos.
With everyone piling into turn 7 at the same time.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. But I think that was the only incident that I had in the beginning. Handed it off, and this is an endurance race, so you have to have other consistent drivers. Unfortunately, one of our drivers did put it in the wall in the second stint.
Oh, no.
So all my work was kind of thrown away,
Ooh,
and we had 9
to pass third place there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's gone. Goodbye.
We had like 9 to 10 minutes of repairs, and it was just, you're down laps at that point. There's not much you can do. Yep. Overall, it was a ton of fun. When I got back in the car, which is this point, I think there's around like 5 to 6 hours remaining still. I was the fastest car on track by like a second or two.
Ooh, so you were moving.
Over everyone. Yeah, we were zooming. We were moving. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we were like, I think 7 or 8 laps back at this point, which you kind of really aren't in contention at that point.
Yeah.
You're just running for the heck of finishing the race. And we
Yeah.
did.
Was there temptation to disconnect from the race?
Nah, not really. No.
Okay.
Knowing that we were in one of the lower splits, we knew that people were going to have problems throughout the race, like always. And I think we were all the way down to 30th after our first big chaos, and we brought it all the way back to 17th.
That's a good comeback. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not winning the race, but that's a good drive back.
I was very proud of how the guys handled it after going after 10 minutes of repairs in the first couple hours. You're like, oh shoot, this is kind of over.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good at that point, does it?
Nope. But we watched other teams put it in the wall, and we battled back, and it was a lot of fun. Even this stint that I did here that we're watching was probably some of the most fun sim racing I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just able to carve my way through traffic for 2 hours straight without a care in the world as to what was going to happen to me.
Do you end up catching this guy?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I caught everyone. I never got past. I never got past in this stint. We were just flying, baby. It was a ton of fun.
So, of the sim races you've done, would you say this has been your favorite?
No, Bathurst was my favorite because we had something to race for, and it set the achievable goal of a podium. There was a ton more pressure, though. This was very relaxing to do.
This was just a fun race.
This was just go out there, drive as fast as you can. You can even take risks. It really doesn't matter that much. We've already put the car on the wall, and just go do it. So I passed P1, I passed P2, I passed P3, and I was like, we're the fastest car on track. All right. And when I was going past them, I was like, I'm going to send it up your inside. I got nothing to lose. You got a podium to lose.
Yeah. I'm either going to have this or we're both going down.
I'm not going to murder you. I'm not going to be unsafe about it. But I'll send it up your inside, and you make the decision. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That looks like fun. That is. I do want to do some sim racing.
We got to get you in there.
I need to get.
We got to get you a computer. You would love it.
I need to get like a decent gaming computer and a wheel and pedal setup.
Yep. And then you'll have to learn the ways. You'll be that guy that put it in the wall on my team.
Yeah. That sounds correct.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
The two other guys that I was running with, it was their first time doing enduros. I didn't have high hopes. I kind of expected us to crash the car.
Yeah.
I knew I'd be solid, but it happens. It's now that their first time is done, they probably know a lot more of what to expect and how much prep really has to go into these races, because you got to put hours of practice into these to be able to run consistent lap times the whole time.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Ton of fun.
Seems like it. Seems like a lot of fun. I'm a little bit jealous, I'll be honest.
Yep. I'll put the Twitch link in the description so you can watch the next one.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. So there was another race that did happen this past weekend, and it was a NASCAR race. I didn't really get to see much of it. I only quickly saw a little bit of highlights. Talk me through what happened at Cota.
All right, I did watch a lot of this NASCAR race. I actually have this track and this car in iRacing. So after this, you can try it.
I think I might.
These cars are awful to drive on a road course.
A handful?
Awful to drive. They are the worst brakes and the slowest cornering machines I've ever driven. They're awful. But damn, they're fast in a straight line.
I bet.
Oh, when you get rolling through the gears, there's nothing like it.
I bet.
Yeah. This was bumper cars, is what Cota was.
So the little bit of highlights I did see, that's exactly what it looked like. I watched them go 5 wide into, what is that, turn 1 going up the hill?
Yep.
Oh
going
my
up the hill
God.
I don't think that that's a bad thing for NASCAR.
No,
usually,
fantastic.
A lot of people tune into these races because it's road courses and it's NASCARs. You know there's going to be bumping and grinding and beating. And there were a couple drivers that did this race that were like road course experts, right? Mm-hmm. We had Jordan Taylor.
Yep.
We had Kimi Räikkönen. And we had Jenson Button.
Yeah.
Connor Daly.
Mm-hmm.
I saw post-race interviews with those guys. And the first things that came out of their mouth, Jordan Taylor's especially, it was amazing. We'll come to where he finished and how he did in a moment. But to set the scene as to how this race goes, the first thing he said, they said, "How'd the race go, Jordan?" He said, "I think I got hit in that race in that single race more times than I ever have in my entire career.
Oh my God, that is such a perfect summarization of NASCAR on a road course.
Yep, it's bumper cars.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
And you're not used to that coming from IMSA stuff, right?
No, you're used to a little bit of contact. Oh my God, what's going on?
Right. If you have a racing incident, there's penalties that get handed out. People get in trouble. Drivers get suspended. In NASCAR, you're kind of meant to lean on the other drivers.
It's expected.
It is. It's just part of how they race. It's part of how the series has always been. So that was a bit of a shock for those guys. And I can tell you that Taylor, initially, I was kind of rooting for him. I was watching him in the beginning. He qualified in the top 10.
He qualified fourth, I think.
Yeah, it was fourth. It was the second row, which is super cool. Immediately, he just started falling back. And I couldn't really tell why until they came on the radio and they told him, you need to pick up the pace. And he told them initially he wanted to, chill and kind of let things settle in and happen. There's no chill in NASCAR. You're just 100% chaos, beating and banging, grinding on each other the whole time. And he didn't expect that.
Just you need to go in expecting chaos.
Right. You have to go knowing that you are going to use the car in front of you to slow your car down. That's just how it works.
What kind of brakes do you have? I have a Ford as my brakes today.
The Honda Civic brakes.
Yes.
That's what they have. It's insanity. Another interesting note about this race, Gunter Steiner, the F1 guy, the F1
Haas,
team boss
Haas
at
F1.
Haas, he was on the broadcast crew.
Oh, how'd that go?
He was on the NBC broadcast. No, I think it was Fox. Anyway, whoever was broadcasting it. He didn't say a damn thing. They would throw curveballs at him or softballs to try to get him to chime up, and they'd be like, hey, we see that they're running a fuel save strategy, Gunter. Do you think you guys ever run that in F1? He's like, no. No. We full fuel the car. It runs to the end. No. He would not say much.
So he was very Kimi Räikkönen-esque.
He was very European, German, don't have to say much, watch the racing. And I wouldn't say he did a bad job. He just, I don't think he can really relate to how these cars are run and how this series is run. It's so different. Which is, it is what it is. I don't know. It was a good idea for them to do, but they probably picked the wrong guy.
Great
to be
thought,
honest.
not the great execution, it sounds like.
Yeah. The end of this race was shaping up to be super, super cool. With about 20 laps remaining, everyone was in ultra fuel save mode. There was a caution with 38 laps to go or something like that, and you could run 35 or 36 on a tank. So everybody was lifting and coasting into everywhere.
Yeah.
And one of the top 5 drivers said, screw it, I'm just going to assume a caution comes out and just blast through the field as fast as I can, which was awesome to see him putting pressure on the leaders as the leaders are trying to slow down and reduce the pace to fuel save and stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with 15 laps to go, there was another caution that happened from people banging into each other and tire debris flying everywhere and them having to go pick that up. So that kind of threw the fuel save strat out of the window. But what that did set up is cautions that breed cautions.
Mm-hmm.
So with 7 laps to go, there was a caution, which meant we were going into a 2-lap sprint to the end, which means another caution comes out, which means you get a green-white checkered, which means another caution comes out. And then you get another green-white checkered, which means another caution comes out. I think at that point, there were 5 cautions in the last 15 laps of this race.
Oh, my God.
It was insanity. Nobody could keep it together. I think after the 5th caution, they finally got the race to end, which the racing was pretty good. The overall winner, which you'll tell me the results in a moment here, was the fastest car by a mile.
Oh, really?
Maybe not by a mile. Him and the, I think, 3rd place finisher were battling it out for a while. But clearly the car that won this race was definitely the best car on track, which was cool to see. So, speaking of, who were the top 3 at this race?
All right, so top 3 of NASCAR at Cota. In 3rd place, you had Alex Bowman in a Chevy. In 2nd place, you had Kyle Busch in a Chevy. In 1st place, you had Tyler Reddick in a Toyota.
Tyler Reddick looked very good. Very, very good. He was good on the brakes, relatively quick in a straight line. I think that it was Alex Bowman was third, right?
Yeah.
He was faster in a straight line, but worse on the brakes. So there was a bit of a dynamic that was going on there throughout the race. That was cool to watch. But Reddick, anytime he got near the front, he was just within a lap to the front. He could just pass people under the brakes everywhere.
Wow.
It was cool to see. Wish some of the other road course ringers could have done a little better. Unfortunately, they did. I don't think they finished super well.
Jensen Button was 18th. Then we had Jordan Taylor 24th, and then we had Kimi Räikkönen in 29th.
Jensen Button.
Connor Daly was 36th.
Oof. Jensen was struggling. I remember his post-race interview. He said there were 2 different times where he was very close to fainting because it was so hot and he was so out of shape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was medically struggling.
He's going to have to get it together, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what he's running in the summer?
What?
Garage 56 NASCAR at Le Mans.
Yeah.
He's one of those drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Which, from my understanding, is different but not super far off of these next-gen NASCARs.
It is different, but I'm sure it will be more comfy.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I'm sure with what he just had happen to him, he will pretty much demand, and since it's a Garage 56, like, what do they have to lose? They're not running for position.
They don't
pretty much demand either an AC or a cool suit or a better setup for airflow and they're running for 24. You can't do what he did for 24. You can do it more for 3, which is what he was in, but yeah, he was struggling.
Yeah.
So overall, beating and banging, it was cool to watch, and you'll have to try these cars on a road course. It's a disaster. They are terrible, but fun to watch.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit more news to talk about, though. It is about a new GT3 car that we've seen some snippets of here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
So, Ford. We know that they're bringing their Mustang GT3 racing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been spied testing at Sebring.
It was at Sebring when I was there. Me and a buddy that were there, he owns a Mustang. So he was on the hunt. He had the magnifying glass out. He was searching social media. IMSA had said, I believe that Ford and IMSA had said, it will be out on display at Sebring. It wasn't there.
Oh, no.
But we believe it was in a trailer because the day after the race, or Monday, actually the race was Saturday, 2 days after the race, it showed up on track. And this is what it looks like.
Oh, my God, it looks amazing.
What are your first reactions?
God damn, I love it so much.
Do you?
Oh. I am so excited for this. Did you hear a sound clip of it?
Yeah. Sounds good.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
The old Corvettes. It reminds me of the old Corvettes because there's not that much that has that deep V8 bellow like
it
the old
has
Corvettes
some.
had.
It
has a lot.
Do you know that they have the same, basically the same engine that the new Corvette has right now in it?
Not in this one.
Yeah.
No.
I don't believe they're doing the. I don't remember exactly what the terminology was to make the sound different.
No, it's from my understanding, it's a Coyote engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is why it sounds like that.
Then I might have been told wrong. Okay.
The Shelby GT350 has a flat plane crank V8 like the Z06.
Yep.
But this, from my understanding, is just a Coyote engine.
Oh, if that's the case,
it sounds deep.
Yeah. I really hope it does. From the clip that I heard, I think it did sound a little deeper than I thought.
The quote in here says, and the V8 soundtrack sounds like something straight from NASCAR.
Good. That's how it should.
Mm-hmm. Good. Hearing the engine could be a punched up version of the 5-liter V8, which is essentially just their Coyote.
Okay. I hope that's the case. Yeah. This should, in theory...
real quick, not only was this on track testing, you know what else was?
What?
The new Corvette.
The GT3?
Mm-hmm.
Corvette? Yep. It was.
Oh, my God.
And was the Garage 56 car there, too? I think it might have been.
Not that same test.
Okay. But it was there earlier. The first thing that I said is, oh, she's a hefty girl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's big.
It reminds me of the Bentley.
Yeah, she's thick. And what a wang. What a wang.
What do you think?
I've never seen a wing mounted the way it is.
That high up?
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing because it's nearly over the center of the rear axle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So in theory, the
when
downforce
it's pushing down, it's pushing down perfectly on the rear axle.
Right, applied evenly across there. Oh, boy. It looks hefty, but I think it's going to look great on track.
It looks so good in my opinion. When you go back to that picture of it coming through turn 17, the next one back, that just, that picture is very good for me.
Yeah.
The rumors are that it was Joey Hand and Harry Tinknell behind the wheel.
Oh, okay. Joey Hand, really? That's interesting. Could we see him make a comeback?
No, baby.
That'd be hype.
How sick would that be?
That'd be super cool.
I'm so excited to see this car racing.
Yeah, no, this is going to be super cool. And I think customers will be able to buy this, right?
Yep.
GT3 Mustang should be able to participate in SRO, IMSA, WEC, and any series around the world, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So, you know how this year is the first year for the new prototypes, the LMDHs?
Yep.
Next year is going to be big year for GT3 cars.
Yep.
Because it'll have the newest Porsche, it'll have the newest Lamborghini, it'll have the newest Corvette, it'll have the newest Mustang. GT racing next year is going to be hot.
Yep. And a couple GTP cars are coming in as well. I think Lambo's coming, right? And
yes,
I think just them.
But I like GT racing.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be super cool.
God, this is going to be
excited
so
to see this watch this race in a bunch of different series.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Speaking of racing, there is some races coming up this weekend. Starting this weekend, we have GT World Challenge. So that, I believe, is an SRO series.
Yep.
They're racing round 1 at Sonoma. So they race GT3 spec cars, as well as I believe they have a feeder series, GT4 America, which is GT4 cars.
Yep.
Then we also have NASCAR at Richmond this weekend. Then we're going to move on to IndyCar. IndyCar Texas is at Texas Motor Speedway. Then we have Formula One at the Australian Grand Prix.
Heck yeah. One other note, NASCAR will be at Richmond this weekend. The weekend after that, they are going to be at Bristol in the dirt.
Oh, yes.
So imagine this. You're a NASCAR driver. You have to go from, was it Phoenix that they were at previously prior to Cota? Or was it California? I don't remember.
Whichever one.
They were at like a 1.5 mile oval, right? Which is a relatively high. No, they were at Atlanta. That's what they were at. Which Atlanta was complete chaos, apparently. It was repaved in chaos. They were at Atlanta, 1.5 mile oval. You go to Cota, which is Circuit of the Americas, a road course. Mm-hmm. You go to Richmond, a small track where it's really tight quarters oval racing. Bristol in the dirt. What kind of diversity is that?
That's
dirt,
everything.
Road, small oval, and 1.5 mile oval. What? Dude.
I'll give it to them.
Oh.
They're getting it done.
Yeah. They nearly race everything possible.
You're right.
What are they missing? A rally race?
I was going to say rally stage. That's it.
You can't do that. It's a NASCAR. They have dirt. It's the closest thing.
It's amazing.
That's ridiculous.
NASCAR has evolved.
Yeah, they kind of have.
And it's evolved to goodness, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got for episode 195. You got anything else?
I do not.
It's going to wrap us up then. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a thumbs up on the video and drop a comment. Let us know what you think about the new Mustang GT3. What do you think about this thing racing against a Corvette GT3? Who are you going to root for? If you're listening on audio only, send us your fan camp there, Mustang or Corvette, via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io, where you can go to catch some of your favorite past races. So, thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.